What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, YouTube? I'm sitting here drinking my coffee on a very special day. Drinking my coffee on a very special day. Got a very special shirt on. We're going to do a live video. Going to be rocking and rolling for about 30 minutes or so. So I'll take your guys' questions for about the next 30 minutes. What's going on, JT? We got the special shirt on. It is Elgin's birthday today. Elgin's birthday. So for those of you guys that don't follow Elgin's channel, go over and subscribe to Elgin on YouTube and check out his store, his website. You can get some great t-shirts like this. And go over there and wish Elgin a happy birthday today. Just wish him a happy birthday. Buy him a cigar. All kinds of good stuff. So what's going on, folks? I'm going to take questions for about 30 minutes. I just woke my butt up, slept in today. It's a rainy day here in Lebanon. If I miss your questions, just post them up again. And you know what? I got a quick plug. I don't make anything from this. This is just personal choice. But if you guys like protein bars, these BSM protein crisps are just off the chain. They're just amazingly good. 230 calories a piece. I've tried multiple flavors and they are amazing. What's going on, Philippines? Alright, do you prefer bulking or cutting? I don't prefer bulking at all. I prefer lifting hard and heavy using progressive overload and a good exercise selection and listening to your body and eating, having a good, decent meal plan. And maybe trying to make sure that you're eating about at least 300 calories above maintenance level. Because as you gain muscle mass, your metabolism is going to naturally increase. And you want to encourage some muscle gain without overeating. So I don't like aggressive bulking. I like eating clean and mean and having a focus on health. And I've made that mistake before. So yeah, just a light bulk. And you know, do I prefer bulking or cutting? Well, that has to do really with your body composition and if you are overweight. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. If your weight bothers you, or your fat bothers you, and it's causing anxiety and depression, and it's like on your mind every single day, you need to get that weight off. All right, guys, shoot me your question. I'm here for 30 minutes. Let me see if I miss any questions. Let's see. We got what is the best way to warm up, and should natural lifters be leery about taking diet and training advice from PED users? No, because you know, guys that take steroids are no more or less knowledgeable than guys that don't take steroids. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I can tell you there's a lot of knuckleheads on both sides of the fence. So what you really need to do is intelligently filter their advice against what the big hairy ugly dude says. And you know, you need to be an intelligent human being and use reason. Avoid advice that swings one side too far to the left or to the right. Stuff that's usually in the middle, like a reasonable training volume instead of an extreme volume or minimal volume, stuff like that. Always try to ask yourself, is this reasonable? Is this centrist? Is this, and then compare it to the advice of others. And don't just follow one guy. So don't worry if he takes drugs or not. Natural guys can be just as much idiots as unnatural guys. Good morning, Joel. The question was, what's the best way to warm up? When you're warming up, you need to bring your body temperature up. You need to loosen up the fascia. Believe it or not, when you get sore, it's usually the fascia or the connective tissue in and around the muscle that is causing the soreness. It is 10 times more neurosensitive, I believe is the way to say it. And I'm not a doctor, I just play one on YouTube. But the soreness you experience usually is connective tissue, not muscle. So when you're warming up, you want to raise your body temperature. This can be just from 5 minutes of light cardio. Or on deadlift day, heck, it's just loading the bar and doing 5 warm-up sets before you pull 600 for reps like the big hairy ugly dude. So you want to warm up your body temperature. You want to kind of loosen up that connective tissue, get the body moving a little bit, and get some of that stiffness out so it's not irritating and annoying. And then from there, you want to warm up your central nervous system. Your central nervous system, when it is engaged, it's going to recruit a maximal amount of muscle fibers for that day. So that's really how you warm up. You need to keep your eye on those things. Let me have some coffee, because we all like coffee, don't we, kids? All right, King of the Orc says, some people have told me whey protein is dangerous. No, you should unfriend those people because whey protein is not dangerous. There are certainly some forms of whey protein that are inferior quality, but that's the case with anything you purchase, from shoes to condoms, so it really doesn't matter. But whey protein is not dangerous at all. Whey protein is just a substance. The whey is produced when they're processing and making milk and cheese or whatever they're doing, and it's just a natural substance with maybe artificial sweeteners and flavors. It's really not anything serious at all. Can you talk about the difference between sumo and conventional deadlift? Sumo deadlift is more lower back friendly. It can be better for some guys and girls depending on their leverages. You know, and one exercise, one variation, the conventional deadlift is more back focused and, you know, just overall raw, brutal strength. Like for me, I find my quads and my back are more involved in conventional pulling, whereas sumo pulling, it's more like the hips and the hamstrings and the glutes and technique. I would recommend that every lifter who is serious about strength and serious about the deadlift try both of them at the same time for at least 6 months. So what I would do a lot of times is one week I would work up with conventional deadlifts to my heavier sets and then do a drop-off set or two on sumos, or you could do your sumo work one week and your conventional the next week. I recommend that, committing 6 months to both at the same time. It should help your deadlift because there's a good synergy and you'll learn a lot about which is right for you and which you don't want to do. So experience is everything in that. Hello, Serbia, my man. What's going on? Serbia, thoughts on low volume, high frequency while cutting? Doing like full body work, high frequency while cutting. Really anything will work while cutting. You just have to listen to your body and you know, see what works for you. The main thing while cutting is not trying to fool yourself into thinking that you're going to get a lot stronger. Cutting, focus on what your goal is at that time, and that's to cut weight, okay? You don't really want to be training above 85%, and this is just my opinion, of course, but when you're weak or you don't have the normal calorie intake, don't be messing around with weights above 85%. If you want to try to get stronger in volume ranges, and that can be done in full bodies or upper lowers or splits or whatever. In my opinion, that's my opinion, that's my opinion. So, yeah. What's going on, Mohammed? And let's see, is normal to be able to squat heavy slightly above parallel? Once I go ass to grass, I can't squat as heavy. Yeah, absolutely. It's a more leverage-friendly position. So if you're doing quarter squats or half squats, you're going to be able to squat more. I don't know if your ass to grass is true ass to grass, but there's really not a lot of value in going more than an inch or two below parallel. So don't force yourself to go ass to grass, because a lot of times you'll lose tightness, you'll get a little butt wink, you put more pressure on the hamstrings. And the big thing for me is losing tightness in the hole for the average lifter. Like there's a lot of guys that can get some good quality bounce in the bottom of a squat, you know, very, very heavy squatters, but for the majority of us, we need to learn really good form and be obsessed with form, not going ass to grass. And then if we want to work around, you know, work with or play around with a little bit more bouncing or explosiveness out of the hole, then have at it. Just a reminder, today is Elgin's birthday, Infinite Elgintensity, and this is his shirt right here. Head over, say good morning. No, say happy birthday to Elgin. I'm just waking up. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Check out his store online and check out his shirts. Purchase something from Elgin today for his birthday. Give him a nice birthday present. He deserves it. Let's see. Are you a fan of the push press? Yeah, I'm a fan of any pressing variation, really. I mean, I spend a lot of time doing BTN presses. I like doing seated presses, barbell and dumbbell. The standing press in any variation, whether it's a dumbbell or a push press, is quite challenging, and it is a good core strengthening exercise as well. So yeah, that's definitely a quality variation. If you like it, use it. If you don't like it, it's no better than seated, in my opinion, for the average lifter. What do you recommend to work on if I'm weak off the floor on the deadlift? Look, I recommend two things as a baseline for most lifters. Number one is get as much quad strength as you can, and number two, get as much upper back strength as you can. Of course, lower back strength helps as well, but in the deadlift, if you have super strong quads and if you have a super strong back, you're going to naturally generate more speed. It isn't talked about a lot. Quad strength isn't sexy, but you need to really bring up your quad strength with squats and with some exercises that aren't squats. When it comes to back training, most people do not have a level of back strength they should. They think they have a pretty good, row, dumbbell row. They might be rowing 90 to 100 pounds or whatever, but they really are capable of so much more. So get your back strong, get your quad strong, and squat a lot. Squat a lot. That'll help your deadlift. Excuse me. Got a little sweet sinus action this morning. Would you recommend Westside conjugate? Here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of switching and doing PR lifts on different movements for anybody other than the extremely experienced lifter. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for disaster because I've seen over and over again over the years when lifters try to go heavy on a lift they're not extremely technically proficient at or not highly experienced at, they will have a greater chance, a greater likelihood of injury. Yes, there are many lifters that get very strong on Westside. There is no doubt. But I think the downsides for the average lifter who is not advanced, who doesn't know his limitations, who doesn't know how to structure the appropriate PR exercises or the big heavy compound variations, we can kind of piece them together on paper, and it might sound good on paper, but you could be piecing together lifts you rarely ever do in the gym. And if you're going to try a PR attempt on that type of lift, you're going to increase your risk of injury. So that for the average lifter, I don't think it's a program anybody should entertain, in my opinion. How long after a workout do you prefer to start eating? About 7 seconds, actually. Maybe about 6.9 seconds. I'm being facetious, but it's true. I mean, after I'm done working out, I usually grab a bar or a shake or something. That's that's highly individual, but I think it's, the old adage, working up an appetite is true. I mean, when we are out working our butt off and burning calories and depleting the body, whether you feel physical hunger or not, whether you maybe even feel a little nauseous and don't feel like eating, it doesn't matter. Your body is just in a really good position to want to eat. It's just hungry. It's hungry for nutrients. It's hungry for energy. It's hungry to replenish. That's the way the body is. That's the way the body works. So I think it's a very good idea to eat as soon as possible after a workout, just because you'll feel better and because your body kind of wants it. That's not a rule. That's not to say you will lose gains if you do not eat, but yeah, you should eat something. You should get some protein and some carbs or something at least. I'm not a big fan of deficit deadlifts because most guys don't have the lower back strength to actually pull off quality deficit deadlifts. If your floor pull is weak, don't try fancy crap. Try getting stronger. Try getting the body stronger. Try addressing, like, everybody looks for magic things when there's no strength or progression in a lift. Like, my squat sucks. I'm going to try this magical assistant exercise. My deadlift sucks. I'm going to try that magical assistance exercise. We're chasing things instead of chasing more strength. The first thing you need to be doing when a lift is not strong is assessing your strength levels on individual body parts. If your deadlift is not strong, You don't need to jump into blanket statements like do deficit deadlifts. No, that's bullshit. That's not where you go. You don't look for a magical assistance exercise. You say, how is my quad strength? How is my back strength? If you focus, how is my trap strength? If you focus on getting every muscle from head to toe as strong as humanly possible, that's your #1 priority, not magical exercises. From there, if you want to try an assistance exercise to see if it'll help you, that's fine. But I really dislike generic advice like, hey, my deadlift's wrong. We'll try deficit deadlifts. No, or my deadlift's weak. We'll try deficit deadlifts. No, your deadlift is weak, so get stronger first. And then add in, then try assistance exercises. All right, end of rant. Push press or strict press? Which would you pick? Me personally, I like strict press because when it comes to long-term shoulder health, I want as much stability while I'm pressing as possible. I don't like instability in the shoulder girdle area. And I've been lifting for 32 years. I like stability in lifts. I like to generate a lot of strength in a stable environment. And then if I need to showcase that strength, I can get a little bit unstable. That's just my opinion, especially when you're dealing with shoulders. I wouldn't, for the same reason, I wouldn't want a bouncing bench press or a wild, loose bench press, just for the same exact reasons. When you're not super tight, it just increases, the chance that you're going to pick up strainies and painies and all that kind of good stuff. Have you known of minor pec tears healing by themselves? Yeah, man. I mean, tears can heal by themselves, especially minor ones. I don't know. I've never had a pec tear. I've had a hamstring tear and I've had a shoulder tear. And the hamstring was lifting related. The shoulder was non-lifting related. I had a calf tear from chasing my daughter. But you got to keep moving this every day. You have to keep doing your normal movements every day so your pec will heal in its normal position. You should probably see a doctor when it comes to a pec tear, but you want to keep moving. You want to keep those natural movements. They might hurt a little bit. You don't want to use a lot of weight, but you want to encourage that pec to heal in a natural position and not heal in some gimped up, retracted or unusual position, because it will heal. So you want to keep it moving. Is reverse pyramid training a solid compromise to achieve both heavy sets of 4 to 6 before going on to volume? I like doing heavy work before volume work. That's what I've done over the years, and many of my workout structures are based on that, either directly or indirectly. I believe it's a much better method of training to warm up and then do your heavy sets first while you're fresh, and then to jump down to your lighter stuff and do volume work. Just a reminder, it's Elgin's birthday today. Please subscribe to his YouTube channel if you don't already. You might be the only one on planet Earth who doesn't subscribe to Elgin. This is Elgin's shirt. Head over, tell him happy birthday in his Facebook group, Facebook community, and please check out his website. Give him a little birthday present today. Do some shopping and say happy birthday, Elgin. You have the best t-shirts in fitness. The end. All right. Let's see. Thoughts on upper-lower push-pull legs hybrid. Upper-lower push. I'm just trying to figure out all the calculus involved on that. Anything can really work with a good, intelligent structure. So it's all going to depend on the structure. If you're doing upper-lower, you can do upper-lower rest, upper-lower rest. So you're training 4 days a week. You can do upper-lower-upper 1 week, and then lower-upper-lower 1 week. You can use a little bit more fluid, a little bit more relaxed type of schedule, and just alternate between upper lowers based on what your schedule is like, and add in rest days when you need to. I just would not train more than 2 days in a row. For most of us, I don't want to see anybody training more than 2 days in a row, because that rest day on that third day is just a good opportunity to recover and let those tendons and ligaments and all that kind of good stuff. Most important quest ever. How do you take your question ever? How do you take your coffee? I have black coffee, straight black coffee. And if we go over here, I get this from Kroger. This is my favorite, Igniter. I don't know if it has a lot more caffeine, but it's got like fire on it, and it's called the Igniter, so it sounds strong. So I drink that. Black always. No sugar, no cream. Milk is for babies, right? beers for men. Talking about whey protein, would you prefer mutant or gold standard? I prefer MTS whey because we make it. The flavors are knockout. They're amazing. We have the control over the quality. And let's see what we got up here. I got banana cream pie. I got chocolate cupcake. This is MTS whey. We make this. It's available at tigerfitness.com. It is quality. It has amazing taste. And that's what I recommend. But the other stuff, I really don't know the quality. I really don't know the taste. So you can check those out at Tiger Fitness as well. How much do you weigh, sir? Right now, 253. I got married last Friday, and I ate myself up about 7 pounds during all the celebratory eating. Do I have to take days off? I went 2 straight weeks before I crashed. I don't. Oh no! I'm looking who put the question up there. Do you have to take days off? Well, it's a question like how far can I push my body versus is it needed? A lot of people can do a lot of things. Like, is overtraining a myth? And guys will jump on and say, I can go and go and go, therefore overtraining is not a myth. Just because the body can do something doesn't mean it's optimal for gains. I could probably go out and hike 10 miles a day for the next month and be like, I can do that, but is it optimal? Is it healthy for the body? Is it needed for conditioning? I don't know. That's the question everybody has to answer, even Nido Keto. What's going on, New York City, Rocco? Thanks for joining me. Losing tightness in the hole. Yeah, you don't want to lose tightness or thickness or turgidity in the hole. So be careful with that, kids. Let's see. I'm trying to find all the questions here. What do you think about training while injured? It depends on the injury, but I don't like to stay out of the gym. Movement is life. Movement is healthy, inherently healthy. The biggest problem when people have an injury is that they try to come back too hard and too heavy with that injury. And really, you got to take your time and grind it out. I tore my shoulder at work lifting up an empty oil drum. This was, I don't know, 12 years ago. And it took me 8 months to do a full recovery. I started benching with the bar for 3 sets of 10. Then I went up to 50 pounds and then 55. It took me forever to recover, but at the end of the road, I came back stronger, and that's when I built my bench up to a 505 chained bench press. This is a video that's here on this channel, so I'm not just making this information up. It was a 505 chain, about a 460 lockout, 440, 460 lockout, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, when you have an injury, you need to come back and take your time. And you need to train smart and never push that injured area. If you're experiencing sharp pain, you need to really take an assessment if it's a tear or if it's a tendon. If you're experiencing spinal issues, then you need to be really cautious and try stuff that doesn't involve a lot of spinal flexion or a lot of spinal compression. In my upper body days, I want to alternate between barbell and dumbbell rows, but the dumbbells only go to 90 pounds. Any advice? That's a good question. I would take them for 20, 25, even 30 reps. I do that. Look, this is going to sound silly and like I'm bragging, but even at the Power Station gym, they have a 200-pound dumbbell, and it's signed by Ronnie Coleman. And I've actually trained with Ronnie at that gym. The 200s I could do for more than 10, so I was doing 20 to 25 reps with that. And I believe me and Mark Lobliner have a video of that online. But, you know, when it comes to dumbbell rows, you have two options. You can do a lot more reps, which is cardio, but heck, it is brutal. You're going to do 90 by 30, man. You're going to get it. I wouldn't do more than 1 to 2 sets of that. But that's going to build some serious back strength. You do have an alternative choice. You can set up a barbell in the corner like a T-bar station, and you can do a one-arm T-bar row, and you can load that up pretty heavily as well. So that's a good alternative to dumbbell rows if you want to try something a little bit different. I feel you lift to hold, had an inner elbow. All right, Not sure what that meant. Let's see. Chris says, I'm 50, having lots of success with fast, explosive negatives. Have you experienced this? Fast, explosive negatives. I'm not really sure what you mean by negatives, because negative, or the eccentric motion, is lowering it. So I'm not sure what you mean by a fast, explosive negative. Usually a negative, if it's fast, is sloppy and loose, which is not good for when you're not tight and you're sloppy and fast on a negative. You're going to increase the likelihood of jacking your stuff up. So I'm not really sure if we're talking about the same thing here. Let's see. Henrique Perez. I developed a wrong movement pattern for my barbell rows. As a result, my back is uneven. I've tried lowering the weight down and make my form better, but it isn't working. What should I do? I'm really not sure what you mean by an uneven back. If you can notice a size difference, if you can notice like a little bit of shifting or unevenness, like I have an unevenness in my traps. One side is higher than the other. That's due to an impingement. So I'm not really sure what you're seeing. You could head over to Instagram. I'm at Ben the Barman, and send me a picture of your back issue, and maybe that could help out a lot. So, can someone please tell me what is the best meal before training? There is no best meal before training. I don't want you to go in on an empty stomach, because that can be distracting if you're hungry during your workout. I don't want you to go in super full, because that'll just make you sluggish. I mean, you eat a big meal, like, now it depends on what the definition of a big meal is. I know some guys eat a lot before they go in, but I don't want you eating so much where you can feel that fullness and you start to feel sleepy. I like a lighter meal of something like a banana and a whey shake, or something like that. 4 pieces of string cheese and an apple. Something a little bit lighter that has a little bit of carbs and a little bit of protein. That's my personal preference. Mileage may vary. Is squatting twice a week enough for a newbie? Absolutely. I don't want people squatting more than twice a week. I'm kind of against squatting 3 times a week. I want you to squat twice a week as a newbie, but also do a big quad exercise. A big, booming, quad strengthening, high volume quad exercise, like leg presses, like hack squats, that sort of thing. Don't get caught up in the belief that you have to squat 3 times a week. I just believe there's so many other exercises you need to do in the gym, so many other muscle groups you need to make stronger, that there's really, squatting 3 times a week is a little bit redundant. Get some recovery time in, do another leg exercise, like leg press or whatever. That's my opinion. All right, guys, we're about 28 minutes in. Big shoulders. How to get stronger at overhead press. The best way, in my opinion, to get stronger at overhead press is to do a lot of overhead pressing volume. Guys will generally attack the overhead press like the bench or other major lifts, and they'll do lower rep sets, like 3 to 5 reps. I would rather see guys doing like a 3 to 8 or 3 to 10, and then when that weight feels manageable, adding 5 pounds on, because I believe the shoulders respond best, or the shoulders have a tendency to respond better to volume. Like when I was doing German volume training, I noticed that my shoulders would fatigue rather easily. The shoulders don't have a lot of endurance strength, in my opinion, and this is just from personal experience and training other people. So I like to see a lot of shoulder volume and trying to improve with more volume rather than heavy weight, and build shoulder muscle and strength that way. Anybody else expecting Fiona to walk by? Fiona, you're being called. Joel Clear is calling you to walk by. You haven't walked by the whole video. They're wondering if we're still married. Just come pop your head in here. She just got out of the shower. She's looking all sassy and saucy. She's looking all sassy, and she's in her robe. Yeah, oh, look how beautiful she is. There she is. There's the obligatory. How can I learn more about programming? Great question, Andre. You can check out my book, Massive Iron, which is linked below in most videos. It is also available at my website, muscleandbrawn, BRAWN.com. Massive Iron equips you for success. It teaches you the pillar of success to build a maximum amount of muscle and strength using any program. Now, I have 20 sample programs in the book. There's 200 pages of content, But you can learn more about programming from looking at how I program in my book, Massive Iron. Or you can hire me as a coach. At what point do you incorporate lifting straps or belt? Well, that's two different things. A belt, I would wait till you get your deadlift and squat form nailed down and you've gained a little bit of strength. Straps, and I prefer VersaGrips because they're far more durable. I've had a $50 pair for 12 years now, and I still use the same pair. Now that is quality. But they will help you stave off tendonitis. Now, most guys and girls that go into the gym the first couple years of lifting, they attack, and then they're gaining a lot of strength, and they also pick up tendonitis. Well, a lot of that can be staved off by using straps because you can release your grip a little bit, not put as much pressure, because we're doing a lot of gripping work when we're using dumbbells and barbells, and that contributes to tendonitis. A lot of people don't like using straps because they're like, man, it weakens my grip strength. Who gives a crap? If your grip strength is weak, train it after you are done doing your heavier work. But we want to get your back strong. We want to prevent tendonitis. I'm a big proponent of lifting straps, VersaGrips, early on in lifting so you don't pick up tendonitis. Doing block pulls instead of deadlifts to reduce risk of injury for recreational lifters who don't. Yeah, I mean, I am a big fan of not pulling off the floor for just a recreational lifter. I'm not telling all recreational lifters they can't pull off the floor. You can. But if you want a more lower back friendly movement, pull from 3 to 5 inches off the floor. It's going to be more lower back friendly, and plus you're still going to get that beefy upper back strength, especially from like 3, 4, 5 inches off the floor. I would probably rotate from 3 inches off the floor to 5 inches off the floor, or 3 inches off the floor to right below the knee, week in and week out. Strength is strength. That'll help you get your upper back and your lower back stronger. It'll help you get your traps strong. And if you don't care about deadlift strength, you just want to improve your overall functionality, your overall body strength, and protect your lower back a little, they are a great choice just for the average lifter. I've heard you say don't baby your rows. Could you explain a little bit more what you mean? Yeah, I mean, here's what I mean by that. Most lifters don't attack row strength like they do bench press strength. Most lifters don't attack row strength like they do deadlift or squat strength. They aren't aggressive with progression. So I see a lot of people get complacent with their row strength, like they're doing 90 or 100s by 10. You need to get some straps, you need to get some VersaGrips, and you need to keep pushing yourself to see just how strong you can get. At my peak, I was rowing, dumbbell rowing 270 pounds for 10 reps. You can row a lot more than you think you can, and that's really what I mean. The upper back is a very, very strong body part, so you are a lot stronger than you think you are, and that's what I mean about babying it. Stop taking it easy and get aggressive on progression. Which routine, in your opinion, fuel or fat? The routine, in my opinion, are routines made by the big, hairy, ugly dude, which you can check out in my book, Massive Iron, or you can check out my free routines over at tigerfitness.com. Just go to Google, put Steve Shaw, S-H-A-W, Tiger Fitness, and you'll find all kinds of free workouts. Those workouts, in my opinion, are better than fuel or fat because, you know what? I made them, and my mom likes me a lot. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, funny text on your shirt. This is a shirt by Infinite Edge Intensity. It's his birthday today. Head over to infiniteedgeintensity.com. Buy something. Support him. Support Elgin. He's a good guy. All right. I am about to head out. And, we got a fake Merc question. Do you think he is serious about his claims, or do you think he could be a master troll? No, he's not a troll. Trolls don't hurt their own credibility. Trolls aren't there to damage themselves. He's full of crap, and don't buy any of his stuff. I've talked to the guy personally. The guy has serious issues. He's very insecure. He's got some mental issues, which, it sounds crazy to talk about, and I'm not being I'm not joking here. The guy is messed up, and he needs some help, and that's really all you can say. I mean, does he provide good advice? Well, he copies a lot of what he says off the internet and off what I say. I've seen it over and over again, and I'm not exclusive. He copies a lot of people. So, all right, guys, I'm being crazy swamped with questions, and I'm 35 minutes in. I can't answer all the questions today, so I apologize. But I'm going to try to do an Instagram Q&A for 15 minutes right now. I've never done that before. So if you guys want to continue this Q&A, go over and add me on Instagram at BenTheBarman, at BenTheBarman. I'm going to be hopping on there in 10 minutes to do an Instagram Q&A for 15 minutes if anybody shows up. So I appreciate you guys watching. Head over to my Instagram at BenTheBarman. Check out my Facebook group. I can help you one-on-one there. It's Massive Iron. Just search Massive Iron Group, and you guys can join us and ask me questions there. But 10 minutes, I'm going to take a break, get a protein bar, get some more coffee. I'm going to be on Instagram doing live for 10 minutes at BenTheBarman. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, check out the link below. If you've made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Let's see if I can end this video.